Chapter 3. The courts, once regarded as the final arbiters of justice and the ultimate custodians of constitutional checks, the courts in the United States have, in recent years, been cast in the paradoxical role of a political vanguard. From 2015 to the present, judicial intervention has been less a shield against executive overreach and more a first strike undermining expressed popular will. The border wall dispute marks an illustrative moment when the Border Patrol, with historic ties to law enforcement priorities, supported a physical wall to address illegal migration and drug trafficking, including the deadly surge in fentanyl. The Trump administration encountered electoral resistance in Congress over appropriations. Undeterred, Trump attempted to employ executive funds under the banner of national security, turning ultimately to defense allocations for the project's marginal progress. The courts, however, became both gatekeepers and speed bumps, engaging in protracted legal confrontations that left the initiative incomplete, symbolized now by stretches of dormant wall along the southern frontier. This unresolved standoff against a backdrop of increasing illegal crossings and opioid fatalities has become a recurring motif in critiques of judicial activism and bureaucratic inertia under the subsequent administration. 2020 presented a court system notably inert in the face of widespread violence and unrest under the specter of the pandemic. The death of George Floyd mobilized mass protests, some devolving into riots marked by destruction and threat to civic stability, including a direct assault on the White House perimeter. The apparent absence of rigorous judicial proceedings against perpetrators prompted deep skepticism regarding equal enforcement. The court's posture during the COVID-19 pandemic further exposed their discretionary latitude, as sweeping mandates curtailing commerce, education, and public movement were rarely curbed by judicial review. In certain cases, the judiciary appeared to endorse, rather than question, the most draconian restrictions, drawing criticism for perpetuating public hardship. Election 2020 brought another focal point. Courts at all levels largely abdicated their role in scrutinizing claims of procedural and systemic irregularity, ranging from mass mail-in ballots and questionable ballot drop sites to bizarre acts like the covering of vote counting centers' windows. Despite affidavits, video documentation, and real-time evidence suggesting irregularities, judicial bodies deflected comprehensive review, culminating in the Supreme Court's calculated refusal to grant certiorari, effectively silencing public inquiry. In a stark inversion of precedent, subsequent criminal prosecutions targeted not alleged election violators, but those questioning the process, including, most conspicuously, former President Trump himself. Events of January 6, 2021 highlight the judiciary's post-crisis rigor, as hundreds remain detained or face lengthy prison sentences in conditions that have elicited debate over constitutional protections. These selective applications of justice call into question the actual locus of judicial loyalty, whether to statute and citizen or to enigmatic structures of power. Chapter 4. The Executive. The executive branch, traditionally the engine of administrative action, instead endured its own internal sabotage across these fraught years. A directive as elementary as disseminating hydroxychloroquine during the pandemic, supported by historical precedent and a century of human use, was curtailed by the very agencies tasked with its implementation. The FDA, an apparatus theoretically subordinate to the president, instead asserted autonomy, derailing executive policy and constraining public access even as the health crisis deepened. The ivermectin controversy operated along similar lines, foregrounding the capacity for administrative state actors to obstruct, manipulate, or nullify presidential directives through institutional inertia or ideological contestation. Parallel subversions encumbered national security policy, including the sabotage of travel bans and the leaking of confidential diplomatic exchanges, fueling legislative investigations and public furor. The FBI's unprecedented surveillance of its own executive, notably around the infamous Steele dossier, further destabilized interbranch trust. The post-election transition revealed a Department of Justice unwilling to engage robustly with widely publicized fraud allegations, highlighted by a swift and categorical denial from Attorney General Barr. Cabinet positions became revolving doors, with loyalists replaced by acting officials as faith in institutional impartiality declined precipitously. The vice president's fateful refusal to intervene during the vote count ratification emerged as the final act of this complex drama. The seamless reversal of executive directives under the Biden administration, spanning border security, energy production, and regulatory policy, exposed the extent to which the apparatus of governance had become both weaponized and aloof from the popular mandate. Chapter 5. Politicians. The overt public remarks of politicians such as Chuck Schumer starkly reveal the ingrained hierarchy of allegiance in the U.S. political architecture, with elected leaders apparently apprehensive of, rather than commanding, state intelligence arms. The lengthy sagas of congressional antagonism toward the Trump presidency, encompassing dual impeachments and a bevy of legislative theatrics, demonstrate the legislative branch's susceptibility to external direction and internal corruption. Adam Schiff epitomizes the rise of performative governance, capitalizing on theatrical allegations to undermine executive legitimacy. More damning is the bipartisan willingness to ignore potential presidential corruption or to encumber civic life with labyrinthine regulations and laws, fostering a climate of confusion and alienation from public governance. The aftermath of the January 6th events saw lawmakers champion aggressive prosecutions against protesters, including unprecedented pretrial detentions and accusations of insurrection.